What's good with y'all, man? We back with another one, and let's go ahead and get straight into it. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to hear what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together because you make me better. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it sounds so cliche for you know to hit the term. Play your role. And or know your role. You know, and either gender may get offended sometimes. You know what I mean? If we keep it in the buck, but because like I say, women want men to be men, and men want women to be women. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the thing is, instead of getting so caught up in the whole, Miss Independent, I don't need no man. Like I said, I made videos about that. How that could potentially backfire. But like I said, the reality is, like I said, you're forced when you're together. You know what I'm saying? So I said it, like I said, I brought up, I guess the independent thing is to let's get off that. And like I said, I brought up the term teammate. Because like I said, when you're working as a team, like I said, you making the other person better. But let's delve into that, right, ladies? Let's say or men. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with somebody who on the ish. You know what I'm saying? And they can already provide for you, do certain things for you. You know what I mean? And we'll go to knowing your role, right? Okay. You hear, the talk about, the alpha male, working your purpose, standing your purpose, and how women should, fall into your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, we know there's another conversation to that. But without, getting into the point where y'all not making y'all own money, like, yeah, make your own money too, but at the same time find that way to make that man better. Sometimes it's the little things. And fellas, tell me if you agree. And even ladies, there's some ladies know that, okay, this man is already going to work, working these long hours. I may have worked a couple hours too, but he the breadwinner. You know what, let me just iron his clothes real quick for him, you know what I'm saying, while he in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Or something that happened to me recently, right? One day, I'm cooking dinner one day, right? Making something simple as spaghetti. So, my lady friend that's over, she like, hey, you need any help with anything? And I'm like, oh, well, shoot, if you want to, get the garlic bread ready or whatever. So she got the garlic bread ready, and then meanwhile, once the food was done, she fixing the plates. You know what I'm saying? So here it was. She said, okay, he took the time to cook the meal. Let me get in where I can fit in to make the situation better. Even if it's something as simple as fixing the plates. Like, I'm gonna just fix the plates for everybody, But that's, like I said, at its most simplest form right there. But if you dealing with a man that's on his shit, find a way that you can fit in. Like I say, still do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But if this man is already doing good, what can you do to, as they say, to add that value? What can you bring to the table? And like I said, it's not always monetarily, like, hey, I'm going to be paying attention to see, okay, well, this man may be slacking, to tweak some things here and there to where he can optimize what he already doing. And sometimes that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what comes into play, bringing that teammate. You know what I mean? So, like I say, at the end of the day, like I say, be that teammate, but like I say, when I say know your role, know where you can take what you have. You can take the gifts and talents that you already have and that you may be making money off of, or you see where you can be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Use that to your advantage, and to your dude or your person, your girl, you know what I'm saying, to make each other better at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?